Hi everyone, I thought I'd record another class for you runners out there. The last one was very popular, so I wanted to give you a few more exercises that you can do either pre-run or post-run. So let's get going. As always, you listen to your body, so if it doesn't feel okay, you don't do it or you take one of the adaptions. So I'm sitting on a yoga block. You don't have to sit on a block, you can sit on a cushion or just have some support, and you are going to feel just a slight stretch along the thigh muscles. You can just rest your hands down on the knees. We want to take a moment to lengthen through the spine and relax through the shoulders, and we're going to close our eyes. So we're much more able to stretch and release when we relax the body first. So if you are doing this after you've just done your run, maybe the heartbeat is going quite fast, we want to slow everything down. So to do that, this is where we use our breath. Our breath is our best tool for slowing down, de-stressing, releasing any tension. So let's place our right hand on our abdomen and our left hand on our heart, so we can actually feel that breath coming in. We always inhale and exhale in and out through the nose. So let's start to breathe in through the nose and expand that breath into the body. And then taking that slow exhale and release back out. We're going to continue a few times. Remember, we're slowing everything down. Let's take one more breath together, inhaling, expanding into the body. Maybe this time as you exhale, it's a sigh out of the mouth, just letting go. Let's inhale, bring the arms up, stretching all the way up towards the ceiling, the sky, depending where you are. And then let's drop our right hand down and stretch up and over with that left arm. Our knees are staying down on the ground, bending into that right elbow a little, and then coming back to center, reaching long, and exhaling, dropping that left elbow, bending down, stretching with the right, coming back up to center, sending the hands behind you, linking your fingers together. Let's give those shoulders a stretch, pulling the arms away from the body, finding that long breath. We're going to release those arms, just give the shoulders a little roll one way. When we think about stretching when we're running, we always think about the lower body, but we are using our upper body too. Let's roll those arms forwards, shrugging up those shoulders and dropping them down, and release. Let's remove our block now. We're going to come round onto our hands and onto our knees. And we're going to start to tuck our toes under, heading back into that downward dog position. So you're aiming to send your heels towards the back of your mat. We're going to pedal into each leg, pushing each toes down and then to the heels. Finding that long breath. Really grounding the hands so you're pushing away from your mat, fingers wide. And then pushing those heels back. Let's breathe in throughout the toes, push the toes all into the mat, grounding down, and then exhale back into those heels. Let's do that again. It's an inhale, rolling onto those toes. Exhale, ground back to those heels. Let's take a walk towards our feet now, just letting the body hang forwards. If you can't quite reach your mat, this is where you grab your block for your hands, because we're going to keep our left hand down and open up with our right arm. So you can always use your block here if you need, maybe coming up a little higher. Hand on that block, and the great thing about the block is it can go all directions. We're going to drop our right hand down, left arm long now, twisting through the core, finding that long breath. Releasing back down to your mat. Let's take a walk into plank pose all the way down. Hands under those shoulders. We're going to drop our hips down, staying on our toes. Relaxing those shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, push back into that down dog position. Let's inhale, dropping the hips down, upward dog. And exhale, roll back, down dog. Let's take a walk to the top of the mat this time, all the way. Bring the feet together, legs together. Fold over the legs. We're going to inhale, rise all the way up. Bring the palms together. Exhale, arms alongside you. Let's inhale, reach up. We're going to hold on to our left wrist. Head over to the right side of our body, creating a semi-curve. Inhale, come back to center, hold that opposite wrist, heading the opposite way. Coming back to center, release those arms. Bring your hands onto your hips, step your legs wide. We're going to turn out that right foot, send the arms long once again. Reach with that right hand. You're trying to grab something with that right hand. You may want your block as you exhale. You drop that right hand down to your block, down to your mat, and send that left arm long. So you should feel that down the inner right leg as well as the back of that leg. Maybe looking up towards that left hand. Finding once again that long breath. Holding that stretch, releasing to any tightness. Coming back up. Release that right side. Let's turn that left leg, toes outwards. We want to reach with that left hand. Our hips stay facing forward. We're dropping down left hand. Right arm is long, reaching up. Always grab your block if you need it. You want to pin your back against a wall, so we don't want to roll forward. We want to open up the body. Maybe looking up towards that right hand, keep us in that right direction. Breathing down that left leg. And coming back up. Toes pointing forwards. Let's send our hands behind, stretch back into those shoulders. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, fold over those legs. So doing a slight stretch into the back of the legs, also those shoulders and arms. Sending gravity forwards. Taking one more breath here. Rounding those feet into the mat, weight is slightly in the toes. And then exhale, rolling yourself back up. Stepping those legs together. Let's draw feet together, knees together. Bring the hands back onto the hips. We're going to do a little roll here through the knees. We put a lot of pressure on our knees when we run, so we just want to release them out. Maybe there's some clicking as you roll. It's perfectly okay. Try and keep those knees together as you roll around, and then reverse that circle. Taking that movement through the hips as well. Feet stay together. Hard to keep those knees together, they want to separate. And come back up. Let's grab hold of our right ankle. Coming into dancer pose, we're going to bring up that left arm. I'll turn so you can see me. So we want to make sure as we come up, we don't dip into that lower back. So we're not doing this. We want to stretch long first of all. And then maybe kicking back that right leg a little into the hand. We can also bring our left hand onto something to support us if we need it. Finding that long, long breath. If it feels too much to come that far, you can always stay just here. You can always bring that left hand onto the left hip. There's always options. Let's release that side and take it the other way. So ground that right foot into your mat. Let's kick back left leg. Maybe here is just enough today. Or that right hand is coming up. We're coming into our dancer pose. Kicking back into that left hand. Squeezing that left glute. Just finding something to hold your gaze, to help you with your balance. It's okay to wobble. It's okay to fall out. Just come back in. Let's release that leg, hands back to the hips. Take the feet a little wider this time. We're going to come back to that rolling around. Not needing to keep those knees together now. Just opening a little, maybe moving further up the body into the hips and reversing that circle. Feet stay where they are. Grounding down. One more roll here. And release. Let's take the weight onto that left foot once again. We're going to draw in our right knee, squeeze it in. Perfectly okay to have one hand on some support. We want to take that foot on top of the thigh and bend into a squat. You can always bring your hands onto something if it's hard to hold the balance. If you are balancing, maybe feels nice just to bring the hands to the heart center. You're sitting back like you're sitting down on a chair. Brilliant. Quad stretch, even hamstring. It's very early in the morning here. Can't get my words out yet. Delving maybe a little deeper, relaxing those shoulders. And then coming back up. We've got the other side to do. So we want to ground our right foot, plant it down on your mat or the floor. Bring in that left knee, squeeze it in. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Grabbing hold of that foot on top of the thigh, bending into your squat. Remember, you can always hold something if you need it. Keep those shoulders relaxed. We don't want to hunch up. We want to send that spine long. Finding that long, long breath. Maybe delving a little deeper. Should feel that into that left glute as well. And release back up. Release those arms. We're going to come back down onto our mats, into our table position. So send the hands under those shoulders, knees under the hips for our pigeon pose. So Kapotasana in Sanskrit. We're going to bring the right knee forward, turn the big toe to the side of your mat, and then shift that left leg back as far as you can take it. You don't want to drop down, you want to keep the hips high. Just drop onto the elbows to start with. And maybe just have a little shift and a roll side to side here. If there are any pockets of tension, you can always hold either side. That right heel should be going into your left hip. And then maybe you're sending hands on top of each other as you rest the forehead down onto the back of the hands. Or you can send your arms long and just rest your forehead down on your mat. Send that breath to where it's needed, where you feel you're holding tightness and tension. Maybe even into that lower back. Let's take one more breath here. Coming back onto those hands, framing that right foot with the hands, tuck the left toes back under and just step it back to your down dog. So you decide maybe it feels good just to hold, maybe you want to take that pedal again. Push back into those heels, those arms, like you're sitting back towards a wall. Squeeze the inner arms so you open into your shoulders. Make sure that jaw is relaxed, you're not holding the jaw. And then drop back down to the knees. We've got the opposite leg to do, so it's our left knee coming forward, big toe side of the mat. Let's shuffle that right foot back as far as we can take it. And we're going to drop down onto the elbows first. Take that roll, that wiggle, moving however feels good. Maybe holding on any tension, any points that need it. And then we're going to come all the way down to our mat. We can always grab support if it does feel like it's too far to come down. And rest that head either on the floor or the back of the hands. Just make sure your hips are in line so you're not dropping one way or the other now. Breathing all the way into the belly. Take one more breath here. And then take that walk of the hands back to that knee. We're just going to swing around onto our glutes. We're going to come down onto our back. Now, if you do have a yoga strap, it's really good to have one. You can also just use a belt or a towel. So there's always options if you don't have a yoga belt. And we are going to lie down on our backs all of the way. And once you're there, just draw those knees into your chest. Squeeze them in. Pushing that lower back into the mat. Relax your shoulders. See if you can plant your shoulders down on the mat as well. From here, let the left leg go long on your mat and just keep the right knee squeezed in. Push the toes of the left foot up towards the ceiling so you're lengthening down the back of the leg. We're going to start to push the right heels up to the ceiling, so sending the right leg long, supporting the back of the leg. Inhaling and exhaling. As you exhale, you start to draw that knee closer to you. So you're creeping your hands up the back of the leg, going towards the ankle. Take your time using every exhalation to draw that leg closer. Might be quite tight here, so do listen to the body. As you hold, the deeper that you should be able to go. As that connective tissue and fascia start to release, the muscles lengthen again. Maybe here it feels good to bring up the head a moment, drawing the head towards the knee. And then dropping the head back down, we're going to hug that right knee back in, squeeze it in, and then bring that foot onto the left knee. We inhale, we exhale, we send that right knee over to the left, and maybe you're turning the head as well, or maybe you're keeping the head neutral. Peel that right shoulder down to your mat. Enjoying that lovely release along the back. Come back to center. Hug that right knee in again, and this time maybe take hold of your big toe or take hold of your belt around your right foot. So if you're using your belt, you just take it around the foot, holding it with the right hand. Pushing that heel up to the ceiling. Let's keep our left hand on our left hip. Send that right leg out to the side of the body. Stretching into that inner leg. Feeling the belly rise and fall with the breath. Everything's slow now. Heartbeat is slowed down. Just listening to your body, allowing it to release. We're going to bring that leg back in, release that strap, and send your right leg long. Let's hug in that left knee, squeeze it in. Drawing that knee into the chest. And then sending that heel up to the ceiling, supporting the back of the leg. Inhaling, exhaling, drawing the hands up towards the ankle. Doesn't matter if they don't go that far. You want to keep that leg straight. So if you need to lower the legs to do so, you use the breath. Maybe that head comes up as well. We hold. Dropping that head back down, bending back into that left knee, squeeze it in. We've got that twist the opposite way, foot goes to the right knee. You take that twist, relaxing that left shoulder. Lovely release all the way down the back. Coming back to center. Draw that left knee in once again, and this is where we take hold of our strap, or we can take hold of our big toe. Send that heel up to the ceiling. Right hand is on the right hip. We want to start to let that leg come out over to the left. Make sure you've got no candles like me. Just holding wherever feels comfortable. Keeping those hips facing forward. Right hand is supporting you. And then come back to center, release that leg, draw the knee in and let the leg go. Just take a full body stretch, stretch everything long. Maybe a yawn, maybe a sigh. And then link your fingers, place your hands underneath your head, take a bend back into those legs, push that lower back into the mat. And let's just sway the knees to the right and to the left. And again over to the right and to the left. And to the right. 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 And to the left. 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 And to the left Coming back to center. Just draw those knees into the chest. Roll around the ankles a little here. Just play around, whatever feels good. Rolling one way, the other way. Maybe taking hold of the outer edge of the feet, drawing the knees over towards the armpits in happy baby pose. Maybe a little roll side to side. Maybe it feels good to draw the soles of the feet together, stretching into the groin and the pelvis. And then just let everything go. Arms away from body, feet dropping out to the side, arms facing upwards. Coming back to the long breath, breathing in. Feeling the whole body expanding with that inhale. And releasing with that exhale. Staying here for as long as you need in your Shavasana, final resting pose, sometimes the most important one that you need. If you want any more information on my classes, I also do live Zoom classes. You'll find me at angelyogasurrey.co.uk. Wishing you a wonderful day. Love from me. Namaste.